Hey everybody, how are you doing? It is Sunday night, so welcome to FMTV Weekly. Man, it was a tough game to watch the other night. It was hard to watch Inter Miami play DC United and lose 3-0. It was a tough game to watch. But I want to challenge everybody tonight and see if we could find any positives right now, because I'm tired of being so negative. But I'm not going to look for those positives by myself. I need Uncle Ed's help. Say hi, Ed.
How's it going, guys? Good seeing you. Peter, we want to be positive, but there's so much to talk about because I don't think there's anything positive we could say about the team.
Come on, try. We got to try.
We're going to try. We're going to put 100% effort to try to say something good about our team. So let's.
All right, and forgive Uncle Ed's audio a little bit. He's outside, so we're picking up some audio from being outside. But we're gonna power through it tonight. We're just happy that you're here, Ed. So few audio issues tonight, but we'll get through it. And no matter what, we'll have fun doing it. So. Yeah. So Ed, it was I was watching the game, and as I was watching the game, I was saying to Eric, our buddy Eric, who came down from New Jersey to watch this horrendous match.
Peter, man, we were looking so forward to it because it was the first full capacity game that we were going to have, and man, it's just, it was exciting to be back in that stadium. A lot of people there, people saying hi to us. It's awesome, guys. Thanks for saying hi to us because, I still have my mask on for most of the time, but people still recognize Peter. And, I had the Futbol MiamiTv thing, so, that was cool. But, gosh, so we're going in there thinking, DC United, not that tough of a team, man.
Right.
We've got a chance here. We need 3 points. We need to, make it happen in our hometown. But Peter, man, did that change in the first 20 minutes.
It sure did. And so, as we were sitting there watching it, we're sitting there hanging with a friend that we don't get to see very often. And I was just saying to him, I'm tired of being so negative. Sometimes on this show, we tend to focus on some of the negative stuff. And I understand why. Because there's areas we care a lot, and there's areas where this team needs to improve. So you kind of pick some of those things apart. But I'm just feeling like, man, I'm tired of some of those of being negative. I want to find some positives, and yeah, it's a challenge to find any positives right now. But I would love for in the chat for people to start finding some positives in here. But before we get to the positive talk or an effort to be positive, we have to say a big thank you to our sponsor, and that is Caneswear. I'm going to put Ed on mute. And Caneswear is the best place in South Florida to go get Inter Miami gear. Also, hey, if you're a fan of the Miami Marlins, or if you're a fan of the Heat or the Panthers. I know they've got a big Panthers sale going on right now. So if you're a fan of that, and of course, if you're a fan of Miami Hurricanes, this is the place to go. Great selection of Inter Miami gear. Support a local business. These guys are trying to be your local hometown sports apparel place and hangout, really, in some ways. So go support them. And mention that you watch it on FMTV, and you'll get 10% off. Or if you can't get there, if it's a little bit too far away, go to caneswear.com.
Peter, I wanted to tell you, I went to Caneswear right before the game, and I've got a shirt, this pink training shirt that you guys see I've got on right now. It's, I bought it there. They gave me the discount. I was so excited because, you figure, they're a sponsor. They're not going to give us a discount. But they did, man.
As the big shot that you are, did you walk in there and everybody was like when Norm walks into Cheers? Was it like that? Ed,
No, unfortunately, I don't go there as often as you do. As a matter of fact, they did tell me you go in there pretty often. So they're like, "Oh, hey, man, we didn't recognize you." Once I told them, can I get the discount? They're like, "Oh, of course, sure." But he's like, "I didn't recognize you because I had the mask on." He says, "It
Right.
does say Uncle Ed there, but Peter we see all the time." They said so.
Hey, I always
That's a good thing.
I always say I'm not gonna tell you guys to go shop somewhere that I don't shop. So it's we're if they're not a good company or if it's not a good brand, we're not going to promote it. And so they're a really good local shop that you should go and support. And you could do like Ed did, especially if you're driving from the south. You stop there on your way to the stadium. It's perfectly located right
That's
off the
exactly what I
highway.
did.
It's right off the
Exactly
highway,
what I did.
so it's
Yeah.
it's easy.
It was perfect. As a matter of fact, I bought my wife the La Palma
Mm-hmm.
women's jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, she looked great in it. Now everybody was telling her, "Oh, it's so form fitting, et cetera, et cetera." And I was like, it was a good buy, man. It was a good buy. Hey, man, she kind of looked hot in that.
There you go. All right. Well, yeah. So I've talked about it before, but I got to go there because I've got a gift card that's burning a hole in my wallet. So I've got to go there. And actually, right now, I know they've got some Memorial Day sales. So head on over there this weekend. Go there tomorrow. You're watching this, or if you're not watching this live, first off, what's wrong with you? Why aren't you watching this live? Join into the chat. Have a little bit of fun. But if you're watching this on Monday, put this on pause, go to Canesware, do a little shopping, then come back to this. Right?
Yeah, and Peter, you're talking about the chat. Let's mention some of the people that are in the chat because, thanks guys for supporting us. There are a lot of people here, so let's talk. There's Jose Velasquez is in here. Jose, how you doing? Thanks for supporting us. Our good friend Kevin Gonzalez is also here. Gabriel Picareu, I think this is how you pronounce it. Sorry
If
if I.
you if you can't say it, I got no chance.
Yeah, yeah. Gabriel's in here. Thanks for supporting us. One world, one goal. She's always supporting us. Thank you so much for supporting us. Here's a guy that from Atlanta. He must be happy that we're doing terrible. I don't know. Anu Wiseman, how you doing, Anu? Thanks for being on board with us. Our good friend Eric Thomas drove all the way down to meet up with us, drink a couple of beers, which we didn't even finish all the beers, Peter.
I
That
got it.
hurt.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute.
We'll talk about it in a little bit. We've got Endo is also on here. How you doing, Endo? Thanks so much for supporting us. Joseph Gem is also here. Thanks for supporting us, bud. Let's see, Julio Caballero,
Who's that guy?
that one dude that founded the Southern Legion, and probably the reason why we've got an Inter Miami team to talk bad about at this point.
Wow.
So, how you doing, Julio Caballero? Good buddy. We got to hang out with him last night as well. We got Julio Enriquez. Julio, how are you, my friend? Man, it's just all these Julios
It's
in here
Julio
right
night.
now. Yeah, it's a Julio night. We've got let's see who else. Marvin Mieles, always a great supporter. Look, Marvin behind me. I've got Barcelona shirts. The Barcelona from Ecuador. The guy whose house I'm at right now. He's a big fan of Barcelona.
And
So
and
he's like, you got to put those behind you.
Marvin's saying
But
there is no positives. We sucked. I'm not saying the rest.
Beep. Yeah. Jason V's, how you doing, buddy? Man, thanks for supporting us always. We didn't get to see you at the game, man. And that's it for now.
Well, Judge Dredd is here
so
as
awesome.
well. Judge Dredd, don't miss Judge Dredd. He's always
How did
in
I
here.
miss Judge Dredd?
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, Peter, excited that we got to go to the game, but not that excited because we kind of sucked.
Yeah, we did. I mean, I'm trying to make some changes as on the fly here, but it's not cooperating with me. But yeah,
but it's
tough
game, Peter. Tough game because we were going in there. Like I said before, DC United looked like they weren't going to be that good. And I was like, all right, we got to come in here, full capacity crowd. We should be able to get a win. And lo and behold, in the first 20 minutes, that did not happen.
No, it was over pretty quick, and the boos started. I mean, how were you surprised to hear so many boos so early in the season? And apparently there was some chants coming out of the supporter section. At least late. I don't know if it was at that point or if it was later in the game. Some chants coming out of the supporter section that was less than flattering to the team.
I didn't really hear those.
I read about them.
I read about them, so I was
Yeah.
like, "Really, that happened?"
Yeah.
They were supporting, the whole time. So I didn't think they talked any bad. The other people around the stadium, they did boo because the quality of the game was terrible. It's like the team didn't play with wanting to win.
Right.
They just looked lazy, and there's very few players that I could really talk about that I could say actually put an effort into wanting to win this game. The rest, I don't know what's wrong with this team. Why can't they put passes together? But we're constantly dominated by the other teams. That's something that shouldn't be happening. And the players that we have, we would technically be able to hold on to the ball, Peter, but we haven't been able to do that.
That's what bothers me. I think the most is just the fact that we cannot hold on to the ball at all. So that bugs me to no end that they give it away all the time, all the time, all the time. But here Jason Vies is saying, problem is when you have the highest salaries in MLS and the quality of play is this bad, the fans have every right to boo. I'm not saying they didn't have a right to boo. I can't disagree with that. I'm just surprised. I was just thinking that there might be still some, what do you call it when your first year of marriage, your honeymoon phase. I thought we're still in the honeymoon phase a little bit. We're happy to have a team. We've worked so long to have a team that we're going to cheer for them no matter what. But no, man, South Florida. This is what I was saying to my wife. Is that South Florida is it's a knowledgeable soccer market. So many of the fans that are at that stadium have followed football for their entire lifetime. And South Florida, I've always said this from the very beginning. It's a fickle sports market. We all know that. But what I've said from early on was, and my concerns is that we have to get off the ground running, and we've got to be a winner from day one because the South Florida fan base will turn on you. There are some definitely elitists within the soccer community down here, or if they're not elitists, they just have high expectations because that's what they grew up watching in their home countries or whatever. Or even if it's not even a home country, heck, you grew up watching the EPL on NBC, or ESPN or whatever from your own comfy couch. You still have high expectations. So it's a knowledgeable soccer market down here, and you can't just walk around the field like Matuidi, giving the ball away every time, and get that high paycheck that he's got. I've got some big issues with him right now. But so it's one of those fan bases that, and I think a lot of us that have supported soccer down here for so long, Ed, is that we've seen things come and go. We've seen things come into the cities and come in on a high. And everybody's excited, the team sucks, and people bail. So that's always still a possibility that the honeymoon may be ending, the boos are starting, and will people keep coming back? I did read several people online today as I was just reading a ton of comments, and we'll get into some of those comments in a bit, but one of the comments was, I'm not coming to the next home game. I am not paying $80 a ticket, because apparently this person paid, a little bit higher seat. $80 a ticket, $40 to park, $13 beers, expensive food. I'm not spending, at the end of the day, I think the guy spent like a $500 day yesterday. And I'm not paying that kind of money to watch us lose against Orlando. Because right now, we will lose to Orlando. The way we played against DC United, we will lose to Orlando. And so you got to be worried, Ed, that we're losing those kind of fans early, potentially.
Early.
Maybe.
Yeah. And that kind of sucks because, Peter, we were, we've always been great supporters of soccer in Miami in South Florida, and to see people already wanting to jump off the bandwagon, and that's unfortunately how fans in Miami are. They jump on the bandwagon. If the team's doing good, they'll support. If they're not doing good, they'll walk away. That's the type of fan base that we have. It's unfortunate, but it's true. The main supporters, the supporters groups, they're gonna be there 24/7. They could chant, I don't know if they chanted negative stuff, but um, because at least I didn't hear it. But they're always gonna be there. You and I, we're gonna be there.
Yeah, absolutely. Oops, hold on.
Complaining, we're gonna be complaining.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
We'll definitely be there. No matter what. But yeah, if you got to boo, heck, I think I might have heard some of us booing at the end of the game. I think I might have heard my wife booing at the end of the game. So,
wow, I didn't hear my wife. I think she was too busy on her phone. But everybody was like, because she was taking pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
But still, it's pretty tough. To see when that people are already starting to talk bad about your team. But they need to do something. It's another thing that I talked about with Julio is like, I see Jorge Mas. He was by himself. It's like I didn't see anybody in the suite. And towards the end, he was like the only one there. That was all that huge owners suite that they've got. And he was, after a little while, he was the only one sitting there.
So
and I was just like, wow.
Beckham wasn't there? I didn't see him, so I don't know.
Apparently, he's in New York. My wife knows about these things, so that's why I knew, that
Sure.
Beckham wasn't in town, because she's constantly looking at stuff like that to find out what the famous people are doing, and Beckham is out of town.
So I want to put this up because I want to just comment on this. One World, One Goal, always the optimist, saying, I think they were booing the Tubby scandal and that we were not taking this seriously to begin with. I would disagree, One World. Those fans were booing the game. They were booing what we saw on that field. I think most fans, I would hope at least, realize the issues with the scandal were a Tubby issue. And, I think most people are just shocked and like, okay, it's expensive. It's going to cost us a lot. It's going to be maybe a little bit challenging to work, improve this team with that situation. But I don't think they're booing ownership or anything about that. All this, I think most people are blaming Tubby and boo him, but he got fired. So Atlanta said, see you later.
Yeah, because they kind of were pressured to do it because as soon as they sanctioned the team, they know that the person that was responsible for this,
you can't have him in your club. You can't.
Right.
At that point,
he's just
you can't.
Non grata.
Yeah.
Ed. Yeah.
Tonight, we do have quite a few voicemails. So, as always, if you want to leave us a voicemail, call 786-474-4435. So, you and I can just banter on about this and kind of talk about this all night. And there's so many more details we can get into. But let's go and hear some of the conversations. And actually, I got 2 voicemails during the game. So, one of our viewers was ringing us up during the game because I was seeing the message come across on my watch during the game. So let's check this out. Here we go. All right, hang on a second. Let's fix this a little bit.
Later, but it's Saturday night.
Oh, Uncle Ted.
First half, 16th minute. DC United just scored, and I just wanted to get my thoughts out while I can before I forget them. I thought when we got rid of Ben Sweat and Dylan Nealis that we would stop with these stupid turnovers right by the goal, like really stupid. Those guys did it all the time. Figal, I thought he was one of our better defenders. I can't even believe how stupid that pass was right to the DC player. I can't believe it. They really need to turn this game around, but it's not looking great so far with, they're offside on Lewis Morgan now. Oh, these guys can't even stay onside. Kranz has been offside twice. Unbelievable. I'm going to call again, and I'm going to rant some more. Oh, I forgot.
He's watching the game live.
From,
yeah.
Coral Paboni Creek or whatever I say I'm from. I'm from Miami. Bye.
I mean, he's venting while he watches the game. That's
awesome.
Love it. All right, so he's got another one that came like 20 minutes later. But also, if you have a chat or something like that, you want to get a chat out, we'll throw up some chats as well. If you see anything interesting,
Peter,
let us know.
I was thinking about doing some reaction videos when like the team when we can't travel and the team's at another place. We can do some reaction videos of us watching the game, and we'll just edit out the parts where that are boring.
Yeah,
there might be boring parts, and you just see our reactions when we're watching the game. I think that would be fun videos to do.
Absolutely, we could do that.
Just an idea.
Yeah. And also, hey, we roamed around the stadium a little bit. Eric and Ed and my wife were finding people for us to talk to because I'm kind of shy, and so those guys were finding people for us to talk to, and so we got quite a few people at the stadium, and we'll put that video out Monday or Tuesday, probably on Tuesday, and then we got a couple of people that sent them in too, so we got a nice mix for the next reaction series. But yeah, that's a good idea. All right, let's go to the next one, and this is Paboni from Coconut Creek again.
So it's now 2-0 DC United. I just called like 5 minutes ago too, so I assume the score is going to end up being 8-0. And you'll have 8 calls for me. This is Ted again, by the way. Let me ask you guys a question. Why can't this team play against the press? Whenever the other teams press Inter Miami, they absolutely do not know what to do whatsoever with the ball. They just fold. They can't keep possession. It's sloppy passes. Now, that's what a press is for. That's supposed to force that. However, this has happened to Inter Miami like 4 weeks in a row now. Now, they just don't have the players, I guess. Or Phil Neville's not doing anything to prepare them to deal with the press. Isn't it his job to figure out how to deal with when the other teams press like this? But at the same time, these guys are professionals. You can't just make a bad pass to their team who's attacking to the goal. That's what all their players do. It's not even just one of them. None of them can keep possession, except for the only player, again, I've said this for like 3 weeks in a row, that I'm impressed with so far is Gregory. That's it. Everyone else, terrible. All right, bye.
All right, good stuff. Frustration in his voice. And something he's saying there that talking about the coach. And that was, I think, the number one comment I saw across all social media. And that's fire Neville. Everybody is up in arms and wants to fire the coach. And like, I agree with Ted in that it's his job to kind of get the team prepared. But at the end of the day, he doesn't play the game for them. They are professionals. He's got to put out the best 11 and give them a scheme of some sort. But they got to follow it. So I'm not ready to give up on Neville. You know the ownership is not ready to give up on Neville. The guy is dealing with players he did not have a hand in picking. Only maybe a couple that are there that he may have had some involvement in. But he's working with another dictators, players.
I like that, dictators. Yeah, he did not have anything to do with the players that are, well, most of them, like you said, he inherited this team,
Mm-hmm.
Peter. That's tough. And I see the red stripe that you're drinking. That's pretty cool. I'm drinking a Stella, by the way.
Courtesy Eric Thomas.
Eric, if you're out there, thanks for hanging out with us. But yeah, you're right, Peter. This is a team. I'm not ready to pull the plug on Neville just yet because it's a team that he didn't build. He tried to put it all together. He changed the scheme of the play. We had a whole different formation, a lot of new players that came in. Makun was playing back there as well. He hadn't played very much, so it's tough, man. This is it's a project that he picked up, with a lot of players that he didn't pick. So it's tough, for him to make these things happen. I mean, I don't see him leaving this team because I don't think he's to blame.
Right.
I think it's the pieces that he was given that he needs to try to mold into something. If things continue the way they are, if he's not able to bring in maybe a player, there's still a chance we can bring in a new player. When there's but that's something we got to talk about in a bit too. About how are we going to bring players without any money? But Pizarro, what happened to Pizarro? Why didn't he show up? Why was
Where
he there?
is he? Is he so
Big question.
Is he so deep in the doghouse that he can't even get on the field when it's 3-0 to bring a little energy, a little something? I know he does. Sometimes his energy is fruitless, but I think he could have brought something to the game last night,
especially in the second half.
Yes.
I was he would have been able to possess the ball. Yes, he holds on to the ball sometimes a little bit too long, but he holds on to the ball. He could, do great passes. Higuain was playing, back a lot and too much for a number 9.
But he's not a number 9 anymore. The way he played, he's a number 10. He might as well just change that jersey number because he was playing as a number 10 last night. And the few times that he did try to be a 9, he could not beat the DC United defenders. I think it was number 23. His last name is Pines. And I looked up his salary. It was somewhere around $170,000. So, they're getting a fairly, relatively affordable player. And that player is way faster than Gonzalo. And Gonzalo, he tried a couple of times. He tried to streak into the
They did a long pass for him, and did you see he just doesn't have the legs for it?
It happened a couple times.
The other guy just crossed in front of him, basically took the ball away from him, and there's just nothing you can do. He doesn't have the speed anymore.
So at that point, though, maybe we embrace. Can he be a solid number 10? We need a good number 10. Can Gonzalo be what we need as a number 10 and to fully embrace that role and then, just bank on Carranza and hope Robbie Robinson gets healthy, because we don't really have a lot else.
That's the only thing that we could do, man. I mean, Iguanu was able, when he was moving around in there like a number 10, like you were saying, he was able to get some passes out, but still, dude, we were lagging so bad. And the only moment that we had, a little spring of energy was when we had those Breck Shea came in. They had Federico come in, a couple other players, and there was a little moment where it seemed like something was going to happen, and then the third girl came, and there it all went. Ruined it for us.
Jason Weiss is saying he had a yard head start on the defender and easily got chased down. Exactly. I mean, that happened right in front of us. It was, and Julio Enriquez is saying Gonzalo is good for nothing. His days are over.
Well, that's something we could talk about. Are his days over? I mean, as far as will he be coming back next year? I mean, if this continues, there's still a lot of season left.
Well, think about it. They've got to cut. Okay, so they got hit hard with a $2 million fine. And Jorge Mas has got to pay another $250,000. But then on top of that, they've lowered their allocation money to over $2 million. I forget the exact amount, but over $2 million.
So what's going
reduced?
$2 million and something
and change, right?
What's going to happen, Peter? A lot of we can get expensive players, but we're not going to be able to get those.
Well, that's where I was going with it. Is do you cut your ties with somebody like Gonzalo, and right there you save your money. And you have to replace him, obviously, but you don't replace him with that expensive of a player. And remember, he's a DP player. His full salary is not hitting the salary cap. It's only $500,000 or $650,000, something like that gets hit on the salary cap. So anybody that's under that, or giving it to somebody that's young and up and coming, maybe. Because at this point, what do we have to lose? I mean, might as well do that this season. Put in some young and up and coming to see what they look like.
We're going to start. Yeah, exactly. Because it seems like this season's not going to be. We're not going to get. We might not even make the playoffs. But we've got Carranza that's making a lot of money. We've got Pellegrini's looks like he's gone. Matuidi's making a lot of money. Higuain's making a lot of money. Who else? Pizarro's making a lot of money. These are all players that...
argue with me if you want, but I think out of our 3 DPs, the only one I would consider, and I'm not sold on it, you could probably talk me out of it, but the only one I would consider keeping around is Pizarro. He doesn't... I know people get frustrated with him. He doesn't always deliver exactly what we want, but he's got skill, and maybe it's just a matter of finding how to use him right. But the other 2 DPs are worthless right now. Matuidi is worthless. Last year, we'd see him make a couple of... He would walk the field. I would complain about it, but then he would make a good pass here or there. But that's done. This year, there's been none of that. He just gives the ball away, and it's awesome.
It seems like Matuidi is ready for retirement. There's just unless he turns it around in the next few games, he's gone. Pizarro, I don't know if he's gone or not yet. I think he still has potential.
Everybody disagrees with me, by the way. I'm putting up all the comments. Everybody thinks I'm crazy. Get rid of all 3 DPs. Pizarro, no. We need them. Mr. T. We need them all gone in order to actually restart. So everybody thinks I'm crazy. And like I said, look, I'm not head fast on it. You could probably talk me out of it, but out of the 3, he seems like he cares at least.
Right.
I'm looking for the positives tonight, guys. Don't try to bring me down. I said find the positives. I found 1 DP that I might be willing to keep. Don't try to bring me down. Look for the positives.
Well, they're going to have to go with the academy, man.
Yeah,
there's a lot of cool, good players, and the Fort Lauderdale team. They're going to have to start going that way because we're not going to have the cap to get players that are going to be expensive. Those players in MLS that are in the mid salary range that we could afford. We're not going to have money for that.
Right.
So for the next couple of years, we're going to be hurting.
All right.
And what do you got, Peter?
More voicemails, and we got some more that are coming in live. So let's get through them. Good stuff.
Hey, Peter and Uncle Ed and Ricky Ricardo and all the great fans. Oof, that was enough. For having 5 DPs, we can't even get a goal. And we finished 10th place like that last year. We're getting completely flamed all over from the sanctions. And, by the way, maybe we should have kept 2 of those other DPs. Maybe Pellegrini and Reyes would have been better. And we should have dumped, 2 of the others that are not really performing. And, we had more holes than Swiss cheese. I wanted to make a grilled Swiss cheese sandwich with that game. We have more holes than a golf course. I mean, crazy. The oddest thing is that people do not understand the word markup. And I know Phil Neville's trying his best, and he tells them to stay with the runner. But, I mean, they got to mark up. That means you get right on top of the guy, and you don't let the pass happen, or you block the pass, or else you intercept it. And then you quickly spring to break open so that your player has someone to pass to. You saw Gregory would get the ball. There would be literally no other 10 people for him to pass it to, including our goalkeeper. They were even marking up our goalkeeper because they saw that we were passing back. I mean, it was just such a really annoying game for home fans, for the first time. And I don't know where Beckham is. We really need him to pull out some of that Brand Beckham magic. We haven't heard from him after the sanctions. Poor Mas had to take one for the team. And, oh boy, our buddy Tubby, he really did his bad, but now he's penalized. And, we're going to need to get some young South American talent. There's some good Colombian players. Some of the other players. If I had told you we'd have 6 Argentines and play like that, you'd say, no way. Maradona is rolling in his grave for his compatriots. But we definitely have a good talent pool. Some of the kids on the Fort Lauderdale team actually play better than some of the players we have. And they're going to have to make drastic changes. And it needs to be done in November, and they need to start playing January 10th. You can't have this kind of delay. You can't wait 6 months to get a goalkeeper. Whoever made that decision needs to be, no longer making decisions. But luckily, we have Chris Henderson there, so we need to get playing like we did in the Fusion days. And this scandal of this whole episode is not going to help trying to build the stadium. Now that's one more piece of bad press. So this team just needs to do the basics of what the strikers did when they were successful. You saw Rangan talking about that in the pre-show. The pre-show was great. The actual game was not.
All right. Well, just something to she was complaining about getting a goalkeeper at 6 months and who made that decision. I'm pretty sure that was our buddy Chris Henderson. So, that's no, I can't be upset about that. You want these European players. Sometimes and if you're going to wait till the summer window, which sometimes you have to do to get these players because they're playing at other clubs. I'm not upset about that. Do I wish they had them in line earlier? Sure. But, we had a whole transition. But, hey, I asked for people to be positive. We got a few comments in the chat of positivity. Here, Richard Greenberg says, positive. Full stadium with fans. I like that. It was full. The thing it was bugging me is it said it was sold out and it says it's full, but I'll tell you, there's a lot of empty seats on the West. They can't have everybody couldn't have been in that Northwest club. They can't all be in the club area, but maybe they are. Maybe they don't want to sit in their seats and they want to walk around in the club sections and all that. Not sure. But.
I saw a lot of people walking around.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
I went to the restroom and people were already down there.
Yeah.
So maybe people are getting used to the whole thing, and it's it's kind of cool. The stadium is cool. It's got so many. The food's good too. We got to do a bit.
We do. On that, Jason Weiss says the tacos in the Northwest Club were a positive. The tacos.
I agree. I had the tacos.
I didn't have the tacos in the Northwest Club. I'm not sure if they're any different than the tacos that you and I had. But the tacos that they have over on the east side in the I forgot the name of the it starts with a P. The name of the thing, whatever. So the guy the people that are selling it, whatever, the name of the company, whatever.
Right.
But they were they were good. They were good.
They were good, yeah. And I saw they had shawarmas down. Just a little bit down too. We got to hit that one the next game. I didn't even think about I didn't see the prices being that bad either.
No, the food prices aren't as bad as the beer price, but
yeah, the beer, that was expensive. Water was almost $5. I was just that was pretty intense. But positives, Peter. I'm glad people are thinking positives.
Here's a positive. Score FL says positive is simple. Is our fans, La Familia, our supporters group. They're awesome. Here's another positive. Rip Mr. T says our 17-year-old looked electric yesterday. Awesome to see him getting a shot out there. I guess that's Azcuna.
Yeah, he made he looked energetic out there, but he's still there were still some decisions that I didn't agree on that he made because he's young, and those are things that hopefully he's going to be able to work on in the future, especially if they give him more time to play. So we'll see how that goes.
All right. Another voicemail.
Oh my gosh, I'm like Uncle Ned now, going on for 2 calls. Anyway, I could go on for days. We need to do a 2-hour show with this, but let's turn it around, guys. Love you guys. Love the show. Peace out.
All right, that was short. Okay, here we go, and
another one.
Yep, we got tons.
Hey, familia. Good evening. This is America's favorite uncle, Uncle Ned. So as I always say, fam. Damn. A damn. All right, folks. Well, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We suck. Okay? I just want to let everybody know I'm not going to beat up on his team all that much because, right now I think everybody's beating up on him. Except to say that this team is going to need your patience, your prayers, and it's going to need your support. This is where we find out about the true grit and true character of the team, and we also find out about the true grit and true character of the fans itself. We got a lot of people out here, running their mouths, talking about, this team sucks. I'm not feeling this team anymore, so on and so forth. All right, well then bye. We don't want you. We don't want fake fans. We want real fans. And we knew what it was. I told you guys before. Tubby was horrible. He was a horrible GM. Okay? We knew what it was. Tubby couldn't even draft. If Tubby could draft, at least we'd have young guys up here flying up and down the pitch, ready to make plays. But we don't even have that because he doesn't know what he's doing. And he didn't know what he was doing. And we found out he was a charlatan and a huckster. And he basically took Jorge Mas not being a sports owner for granted. He took the guys to the cleaners, and now Jorge Mas has a $250,000 fine. Okay? So, don't be mad at Neville. Don't be mad at, Matuidi. Don't be mad at Higuain. Wow. Don't be mad at, Ulloa.
Wow.
Don't be mad at any of the players. Be mad at Tubby. Be mad at the fact that, we had 5 DPs on this team last year, and we still only got 10th place. Okay? So be upset with that. And it's going to take multiple transfer windows to get us out of here. And for those that are sitting up there saying, fire Neville, you should be ashamed of yourself. Okay? Who the hell is going to be able to turn this team around? With these guys on this team, who's going to be able to turn this team around and make them to a championship-level team or maybe even to a playoff team for that matter? Okay? We got guys that are not good, period. Okay? They don't know how to defend, or they're too old to defend. We got guys who can't, who are not technically gifted enough to, give us whatever we need to get on the offensive end.
Uncle Ned went long again.
Well,
Uncle
that's
Ned
the first time.
Again.
Yep. You know Uncle Ned. He can talk.
The interesting thing, I was calling a little exception to is he's saying, don't blame the players. Don't blame Matuidi. Well, I know Uncle Ned blames him, so I don't know. But, but I get his point. At the end of the day, right. Tubby's the one that made those decisions. Tubby's the one that hired those players, right?
And he took Jorge Mas to cleaners. Wow, that's true.
Yeah, and Jorge, some people, when you look around the media, they say, look at these owners. They were trying, to cheat in their first year. How look at that. But I think a lot of us that are down here, realize that I think Jorge just trusted in the guy that he hired to know how to do it. But here's the one.
Totally did. He totally did.
Uncle Ned has a part too. But before we get to that, here's one thought I had, Ed, in that Tubby did not make these cheating decisions just on a whim. There's been even Hercules Gomez, former MLS player, U.S. national team player, played in Mexico, all that kind of stuff. And he works for ESPN now. Even he said it's been long rumored that clubs within MLS do this type of thing.
Look at LA Galaxy, man. They had star-studded players, tons of players. It's how could they not?
Right. I have a theory about that though. But they so this kind of thing is what it tells you is that Tubby's done this before. He didn't just come to Miami and pull a bunch of tricks, because not only did they underreport Matuidi, but they underreported Andre Reyes. I can't say his name.
Totally. I mean, nobody even thought about the guy. So they investigated, and they found out that this guy got a lot of money.
Right.
That's why we didn't have him back.
They underreported LGP. They underreported Figal. So it's more than just Matuidi. Matuidi's where they really are getting busted on, but it was many things. So he cheated on many different levels. And this was not the first place he did this. I'm sure of it. MLS is rife with this type of thing. and we just got caught. We were a little bit maybe too brazen on that first year. Maybe this is something that teams sprinkle in a little bit here and there, not in your first year right out of the gate. But again, and my theory on the LA Galaxy, Ed, is that LA, I think that, yes, they cheat, but they cheat with MLS's help. So they go to MLS, they work with MLS to change the rules of the league or bend them to accommodate their cheating ways. So, whereas we just straight out cheated, we didn't go to MLS and say, help us cheat.
That was our mistake.
That's my theory.
That was our mistake, yeah. And maybe some people had, they were already checking up on Tubby, and, they were saying, something's happening here. They followed his trajectory, and they said, it's... But why did it have to happen to us,
yeah.
Peter Brown?
All right.
That's the worst thing.
Let's go to part 2 of Uncle Ned.
I'm back.
Yeah.
All right. But anyway, like I was saying, we got guys who look lost out there on offense, and it's even worse on defense. And our midfield is god awful. Okay. So I'm not here to rip on the players or anything like that. I wish them the best of luck, because half of them you're not going to see next year. Okay. It's at the point now where that people have X on their back, because they're not going to be around anymore. So I'm not worried about it. This is a second-year club. I know we didn't think that we were going to just come in here and, automatically win a championship. No, it's going to take time. Only one team in the history of Major League Soccer has come in and won a championship on their first year. That's right. That's the team that we played last week, the Chicago Fire. They're the only team that came in first year and won a championship. Other than that, everybody else has crashed and burned. Atlanta's crashed and burned their first year. LAFC, they're still trying to win their first title. And, don't even get me started on Montreal and Philadelphia and all these other expansion teams. None of them have been able to take the league by storm. And a team up the highway, up the turnpike, they're still trying. This is the first year. Last year was their first year in the playoffs. So this is going to take time, and we're not nearly as bad as they were. Orlando progressively got worse throughout their tenure in Major League Soccer. The first season I think they ended up a few points behind the final playoff spot. But each year after that, they were regressing more and more. This year, we probably will not make the playoffs, but that's because only 7 teams are going to make the playoffs this year in each conference. So, guys, let's just pull back a little bit, just see what it is, and support this team, get behind this team, rally behind this team, and I'm excited to see the steps that Chris Henderson makes and to see this team move forward, all right? So I hope you guys have a good evening, and shout out to the Futbol Miami TV fans out there. All right, stay safe. Peace.
All right, some of the people in chat here coming at Uncle Ned. Bruno Panizzo says Seattle has never been a bad squad. Stop blabbing, Ned. Kevin Gonzalez says, what Uncle Ned doesn't realize is that Chicago won their first season in a 14-team league that included the Fusion. That was a long time ago, though. That was a long time. That was a very different MLS. Richard Greenberg says, my TFC was bad and missed the playoffs for 9 seasons. Yeah, a lot of us, we thought we were going to come into MLS and be world beaters from day one. A big part of that is because the ownership put that in our mind. They came in here saying they're going to teach MLS football. We're going to be challenging for championships from day one. We're obviously going to spend money. They have no problem spending money, and so the expectations were high, and that's That's the goals of the club. And I'd rather my club have high expectations and fall short than not have high expectations. I'd take our ownership group over, say, the Colorado Rapids ownership group, over some of these other ownership groups, even FC Dallas, who has a great academy, but hasn't won anything. And, there's the New England Revolution, who, while they're good at times, has an owner who doesn't seem to really care. I'd rather have our owners that try, even if it's maybe cheating, but they got rid of the guy that was cheating. But they're trying. They're not afraid of spending money. Ed, you're muted. Oh, well, I don't know, Ed. You're muted, so I can't hear you. Let me unmute. Oh, it's muted on my end. Sorry, Ed.
Oh yeah, I was trying to talk and I was like,
I know.
It's like, I'm trying to mute myself too when I'm not talking.
I know,
so
and I hit mute once,
background.
but you did it. I did it this time. Go ahead, Ed. What were you trying to say?
I lost my train of thought. I was trying to tell you to turn it on.
All right. Well, anyways, we got more voicemails. Here we go. And you guys all saw my battery's dying. I have it plugged in, but it's not charging. So we got like 18% of battery life left, but we only have 9 minutes of showtime. So let's go.
Hi guys, this is Gabriel Pacareu. What a horrible game. To be honest with you, I'm so disappointed. And just for everybody's talking in the chat about no, we were booing the players. We were booing and telling them that they're not playing with heart, and they deserve it. The only 3 players that I saw that did anything productive yesterday were Morgan, Gregory, and Ascona. Other than that, no other player. And Chapman, to be honest with you, but apparently analysts are saying that he played bad. To me, when he got there, the team started being more straightforward. I'm moving the ball more. Matuidi wasn't doing it for me. Ulloa wasn't doing it for me. Jones wasn't doing it for me. And can we just play? I don't know. They need to play with heart, with more heart, because it was horrible. Worst soccer game I've ever watching my whole life. But hey, I'm not gonna quit. I have season tickets. Sadly, not sadly, but I have definitely a lot of, I have 4 season tickets, which I'm I don't even know why. Thank you guys.
Wow. 4 season tickets, I don't know why I have them. Well, because you support the team, man. And, we're going to have bad games. We've had a lot of bad games lately, but we're going to have good games.
Yeah.
And I think, this is something, it's a labor of love to support a soccer team. We, Peter and I, we supported a soccer team that didn't even exist, that we wanted to bring to Miami. We finally have it, and we're going to support the team in good and bad, no matter what. I'm spending the money. I'm going to keep spending the money, even if they're worse than Cincinnati. Hopefully they'll never get that bad. But I'm going to keep supporting them till the very end, because that's my team,
Absolutely.
man. This is my town. This is where I'm from. So,
And something he said, it's the worst game he's ever seen. Ed, I know you and I have seen worse games. I mean, we went to Miami FC games. We went to Fort Lauderdale Striker games. We've seen worse games.
Yeah, there have been worse games, especially where they've been scored on, 5-0 or something like that. We've seen this. 3-0 is bad.
But he makes a good point about the heart. That is one of my biggest issues, and my wife, actually, who has got her target on Gonzalo Higuain and spends the entire game just complaining about him. And the funny thing is, Ed, you and I were sitting next to each other, and our wives were all kind of sitting together as well. My wife was on the end of the entire row of us. She actually became buddies with the guy sitting next to her as well. And they're commiserating and sharing complaints about Higuain. And, he's like complaining and she's like, yeah, and a big part of it is just is that lack of heart, that lack of effort. And you don't see it. And, maybe they do care, but you don't see it. One positive, again, positives tonight. The one positive I saw with Higuain, I saw a lot less of this. I didn't see him do that. If he did it, I didn't see it.
He was concentrated as being a number 10. He was in the midfield trying
but he still
to
didn't get
stuff.
frustrated. He didn't show that he was visibly frustrated, which is an improvement. I mean,
I saw him do an effort. He can't keep up with the players when they throw a long ball at him. He can't.
Not at all.
But he was making the effort of making the passes to the other players. He was using the skill that he does have. The reason why they're spending a lot of money on him is because he can hold on to the ball. He did that. But he just wasn't enough. That's why there are 11 players on a team. Without 11 players, you can't do anything. If they're not all playing, they're not in the same, mental state. If they're not, all concentrated on trying to, get to the goal, it's not going to work. Right. So we obviously saw that, all 11 players aren't doing the job. We need to get rid of a whole bunch of these guys because they're just not doing it, man. They're just not meshing. It's not working out. Do we have another call?
Yeah, we've got a couple more. But one thing Jason said is it was like watching a bunch of 5-year-olds play. Just turn and kick the ball wherever. No cohesion. This isn't a team. It's a bunch of individuals. It would have been maybe more entertaining had it been a bunch of 5-year-olds. Because with a 5-year-olds, one, they care. Sort of. I mean, as long as they're not picking their nose. But you ever watch a bunch of like 5-year-olds play, Ed? You roll the ball out and you've got 20 kids just like a beehive around the ball.
There,
all of them just around the ball.
And then the one kid that's going to be like off on the side, distracted by whatever. I hear you.
Yeah. One World is saying that Peter, the coach, talked to Gonzalo not to throw his arms up after Franco Panizo's question last week. Yeah, he didn't like Franco's questions last week. So, yeah, maybe it was addressed. All right.
Well, Franco's being honest.
Yeah, exactly. All right, here we go. Another voicemail.
Hi, guys. I'm sorry. It's me, Gabriel, again.
That's okay.
I don't think we need Beckham back in the game, in the team. I think we need to partner up. Or I was talking to Franco over the weekend on a space that he did, and apparently we have a guy that does analytics, and is in charge of the analytics department. We need to look for overperforming players with low salaries that we can bring in and we can put into our team and do I don't know if many of you guys have watched the movie Moneyball, but we need that. We need to do that so we can survive because, I mean, let's be very serious. That's what Nashville did. And look at them. They definitely got farther than us last year and they're doing okay. I mean, not okay, but
better than we are.
They're doing something better than us, probably.
And spending less money.
So we just need to get a team, data analytics people that scouts and have information on players that we can use. Because, man, this is bad, and the academy, and we need to use the draft and invest money on the draft and get some players that will be able to give us potential, right? Because hey, I'm willing, if I'm the team, I'll invest a couple $100,000 in the draft and get 3 of the top 5 players and see how that works out. I mean, but using a data analysis company, because to be honest, we need this. We need to be able to perform. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, you know, every club has an analytics person, and some clubs lean on it more than others. If I'm not wrong, I think there was a news in here. He might be able to correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe there was a woman in charge of the analytics at Atlanta, and she did such a great job that she's now moved into a higher position at, I think, DC United. I think that's the case, but analytics are a very, very important part of the game, and every team does use them. We do, yeah, like you said, we have a guy or a person that does that. How much do they lean on it? That's up to the general manager and all that. Hey, one thing I gotta, before we move on, I gotta say, hey, big thank you to Spanish Bull for a $49.99 super chat. Spanish Bull was one of our great listeners from Orlando. Loved our show. Passed away, so this must be somebody from his family. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you so much to her for the support, and we constantly think about him and miss him because he always had some of the best comments.
He was a lot of fun. You know, an Orlando fan, just like we've got a news and Atlanta fan. You know, we've got some fans from other teams that like to just have fun with us, and he was one of those guys. Because even when we're poking fun at the opposing teams, it's always, with us at least, it's always in fun. And so Spanish Bull was a great listener, a viewer of ours, and thank you so much for still contributing to the channel, from whoever's got his. Well,
if you're listening
page.
to this, I sent a message to your YouTube, so reach out to us because I wanted to talk to you, a little bit off, camera. So if you can, contact us back to the message that we left, and we appreciate it. Thanks so much.
All right, we're going over a little bit, but we have 2 more voicemails, Ed, and I don't want to leave them on the table. Let's get to them. Lots of comments today.
This is Ted from Miami Creek, Florida. This is my 3rd time. I know you guys are coming to the end of your show and said you got a bunch of voicemails, so I don't know if you're going to play this one.
Yeah, of course.
But I'm watching the show, and I disagree with a lot of stuff you guys said. First of all, you guys said you eat tacos at the game. I thought we ate arepas at Miami soccer games.
I'm pausing this.
We had a good thing, yeah.
Ted, there is an arepa truck. There is a food truck that sells arepas. I saw it. I brought it to Ed's attention. I said, we got to tell Ted there are arepas.
I was going to take a picture, but I forgot. I forgot to take a picture of it.
All right. But tacos are good, too. We'll have the arepas. Ted, when you come to the game, we'll have arepas with you. Arepas on Uncle Ed. Why not? I don't know. Okay. Arepas on FMTV for Uncle Ted. Between the 2 of us. Okay, let's continue with his comments.
Tacos? What? Jeez, oh, Pete. Anyway, Gonzalo Higuain, yes, he's slow. He's also already one of our all-time top scorers, and he's played a fraction of the games that some of the other players
can't
have.
Score.
He's still the best finisher on our team and probably one of the best finishers in the league when he gets the ball in a good spot. So what they need to do is have 2 strikers. Have Robbie Robinson or Carranza be the other striker. Remember, the Fusion had 2 strikers, Diego Serna and Alex Pineda-Chacon. Now, I know times have changed, formations change, but it is what it is. I think you need 2 strikers if you're going to have Gonzalo be a number 9. I don't think he can be a number 10. He is actually one of the better passers on the team. But you need speed for that, too. I just say, get Pizarro back out there. Anyway, Blaise Matuidi. You're a little hard on him. He's actually the most accurate passer on the team, according to the statistics. He has close to 90% successful pass rate. I think he's not as good as he was when he was with PSG. That's for sure. And I don't know if he's not trying. He's also 2nd on the team in interceptions and 3rd on the team in tackles or something like that. Almost every defensive stat, he's near the top. for the team. Anyway, there's lots of things I disagree with you guys about. And by the way, I never said to fire Phil Neville, and you guys started talking about that after my call earlier. I just think he needs to figure out something. It's his job to figure out something with the players they have against the press, because now every team is pressing ever since that Montreal game. Anyway, I'll let you guys go, but I have lots of opinions. Bye.
Well, hey, they did play with two forwards. Carranza was in there with Higuaín. It still didn't work. I'm just saying. And
I agree with you, Peter.
The Matuidi thing. Matuidi doesn't pass the eye test to me. The statistics may say that, but the eye test, he doesn't pass the eye test, and he, at the end of the day, he's not worth what we're paying him.
Definitely not. I agree with that.
All right, last call of the night, then we are going to wrap this up.
Damn. Uncle Ned doesn't usually call back to address people, but tonight I'm going to make an exception. It's not blabbing if you're telling the truth, okay? It's not blabbing if you're saying that we can sit up there and blame players all we want. You can blame these guys if you want. But why would you blame a player when it wasn't even a player that forced himself to come here? It's the doggone GM that signs the contract that's supposed to be scouting these guys out, that's supposed to be doing his due diligence, that's supposed to be building a team. This is for you, Bruno. You have to be able to build a team. And our guy Tubby did a horrible job at building this team. So sure, we can sit up there and say, but Tweety sucks. We could say Ulloa sucks, Pizarro sucks, Higuaín sucks. We can go down a list. You want to put in McCarthy? Sure, you can say McCarthy sucks. But you have to have a competent front office that's going to be able to scout these guys out. And apparently we don't have a competent front office. And this is all I'm trying to say. And as far as Chicago Fire is concerned, Chicago Fire may have won a championship in a 14-team Major League Soccer. I'm not here to defend them. I'm only just here to provide a stat. And factually, that's correct. They won in their first year, inaugural year. Yes. Since then, and since they moved to Bridgeview, they've been horrible. But their first year, they won. We can't say anything negative about that. And as far as Seattle is concerned, hats off. Seattle is a good team. They're a good team now, and they don't even have Chris Henderson. So yes, there are teams out there that are very competent at what they do as far as building a team. And I'm glad that we have Chris Henderson here. Okay, but to expect a team to come in from day one and tear up this league, that's not. I'm not saying it's impossible. It's just not probable, okay? The probability is that they're going to have a hard time because you're talking about having new guys bond and gel together. And right now we have a problem with our guys bonding, gelling together. They don't have much of a chemistry, and you have to blame ownership. Well, more so you have to blame front office for the lack of chemistry and the lack of dynamism on this squad. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it looks good that we have Higuaín and Pizarro and Matuidi and LGP and Futbol and all of that, but if you don't have chemistry, what good is it? So, so as far as blabbing, it's not blabbing if your point is correct. And if you have a point to make...
All right.
He blabbed a little too long because the show's over. So his call was over. So
yeah,
I don't know. I think he blabbed a little bit too long.
Uncle Ned was fired up. Don't call him out. Uncle Ned is fired up at you, Bruno. But hey, love the passion from both Bruno and Uncle Ned. Everybody's got their opinions, and we may not all see the game in the same way. We may not all think the problems are the same. So we're all going to come at it a little bit differently. I may say, hey, give Pizarro a chance and yell at Higuaín, while Uncle Ted thinks that I'm off my rocker for, he loves Higuaín. I mean, he's going to build a statue of Higuaín next to his arepa stand. Uncle Ted is. So we all look at it a little bit differently. And
we got so many uncles now: Uncle Ed, Uncle Ned, Uncle Ted.
Yeah.
It's just hard to keep up with all the uncles. But before we leave, Peter, I want to tell you I'm a little saddened. I just heard that Ray Hudson's not going to be calling La Liga anymore because apparently ESPN has the rights for the Spanish league now. So I saw that on Twitter and I was like, no, dude, it's not going to be the same. Hopefully, I'm thinking ESPN will, see the light and say, oh, well, you know what, these guys were doing a good job. Bring Phil and Ray over, and because everybody's used to them, and especially all those incredible comments that Ray Hudson is. We're a big fan of his.
Yeah,
we've had him on the show before, and anyway, just wanted to bring that up and let you know how sad I am about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I knew that was coming. I've been, beIN Sports is done basically. I don't know what they have left on their on their roster. I mean, they don't have anything. I mean, a lot of the I'm not sure. I think the Brazilian league might have been on beIN Sports or it was something like that, and that's on Paramount Plus now, which I'm happy about because I have that. But yeah, they're decimated right now, beIN. So there's nothing. So yeah, it'd be great to hear Ray over on ESPN. I've got ESPN Plus, so I'll be getting all those La Liga games, and you should too. I mean, ESPN Plus is like $5 a month. Get it. It's got a lot of football on it, and I would say the same thing about Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus doesn't have a ton of other programming unless you're a big Star Trek fan like me. But if you
nerd.
Yeah. They got several Star Trek shows on there, but they also now have the NWSL. They have the Argentinian League. They've got the Brazilian League. They had the UEFA Cup on there. They've got the other UEFA Championship, the one below that. They've got that. So they're building up their soccer roster as well. So between those two applications, you're fairly well covered as well. So I would definitely check. I would get those, but yeah, the world. Ray, it's funny as we know Ray as a player and as a coach, but the world knows him as a commentator.
And he's a great commentator at that. So, Peter Brown.
All right, so there you go. Bruno says the Disney bundle is so worth it. ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus for a great deal. I had the full bundle, but I dropped Hulu just because I wasn't really watching it. So, but yeah, I've got the other two. All right, everybody. That's about it. We have gone into extra time today. 13 minutes extra time. Thank you so much for playing along tonight. It was a lot of fun. We failed a little bit to find positives, but we tried. We at least tried. And we found out that some of the positives were like the tacos. So we found a few positives, and that's important. So thanks so much for being a part of this. And, we'll do it again next week. And as always, please like, share, and subscribe, and be on the lookout for the reaction video that we are putting together that we did live at the stadium.
Yeah, guys, that's a good one. We got in Spanish and English comments from a lot of people.
It's our first bilingual video, and just so you gringos or whichever language you're on, it won't be subtitled, so you'll understand what you understand, and if you don't understand, you don't understand, right? Because I'm putting the video together.
Just forward it if you don't understand the language.
I'm putting together the video, and I don't know what those guys are saying, but I do know that they said some good stuff because my wife told me. So it'll be a fun video. I like the idea that it's bilingual. We have not really done a bilingual video, so that's good. All right, so Ed, we've got a break. I think it's like 21 days, maybe now 20 days of no MLS or no Inter Miami at least.
Yeah. What are we gonna do, Peter?
There's break. Well, we're probably gonna spend the next few weeks doing what we do best here on FMTV, and that's complain about our favorite team. But the one thing, and I called somebody out on social media, is that don't think about quitting on this team. And look, if you're watching this video, if you're a subscriber of our channel, you're probably one of the diehards. You're not going anywhere. You're with this team, right? Otherwise, why would you spend time with us? But if you're a true fan, you stick it out with the team through the ups and the downs. And nobody ever said starting a team in MLS was going to be easy. And if anybody thought it was going to be easy, well, this is your wake-up call. It ain't easy. So it's going to be fun. Even when they lost, I had fun being out there at the game with my friends, having a few beers, enjoying the atmosphere, having a nice night out. At the end of the day, it was a good time. So enjoy your time. Don't just get caught up in the negativity. Try to find the positives and just have fun.
Thanks for everything, guys. We love you for supporting us, and we're going to keep giving you guys the best content ever. Maybe we're going to have some guests, Peter.
Okay, you line it up and we'll have it.
We'll do it.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. We will see you next week. Ciao.